Coming up on Hoge and Jahns, we are previewing this big game against the Baltimore Ravens, one of the best games of the weekend. What's going on with Lamar Jackson? I think you'll be surprised by what our guest has to say today. Of course, we'll get to our three big questions, over-unders. You know the deal. Hoge and Jahns starts right now. What's up? Welcome in. Happy Football Friday. We're going to another football weekend. High school tonight. College tomorrow, Johnsy. NFL on Sunday.
More NFL on Monday. It is my favorite. Did you say my favorite time of year?
I just said it's a great time of year.
Well, it's my favorite time of year.
It's the only thing that makes me not depressed about the fact that it was 32 degrees outside and there was frost this morning.
That doesn't even bother me knowing that there's football ahead.
No. That's even like tonight. I can embrace the fact it's going to be a little bit colder tonight. Just football weather.
It is.
Carmel, Fenwick. Let's go.
Hoodie weather.
Yeah.
Fenwick is good.
I always go hoodie no matter what. Now, people don't need to know how many layers I have underneath that hoodie, but got to rock the hoodie.
Winter hat.
Sometimes. Depends.
Tonight may require.
Yeah, it's gonna be down in the 30s by the end of the game.
So
that might require a hat in the second half. We'll come prepared, as we always do on this show as well. Welcome in, Bears Ravens. Follow us on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram at Hoge and Jahns. And you can follow us at Adam Hoge, at Adam Jahns. And if you go to Johnsy's Twitter account, you will see a brand new story out this morning for CHGO Diehards. A good one about the impact that Bears defensive backs coach Al Harris has had on this defense, the amount of interceptions, 11 of them so far this season that they've accumulated, and kind of an inside look at how he's teaching things and three specific interceptions this season, how they unfolded. Really good stuff, Johnsy.
Thank you, sir. If you're into X's and O's, schemes, how schemes attack certain concepts, coaching philosophies, then this is for you. I love writing stories like this. If I had to pick one coach, like if you're Ben Johnson, you're looking at your coaching staff and everybody's doing a great job. If you're afraid of one coach leaving for another job, I think the best candidate right now is Al Harris, your secondary coach.
I was thinking about that while I was reading your story yesterday and doing some editing on it. I was like, that was literally what was coming to my head. I was like, they might have a hard time retaining this guy at the end of the year, because if I'm a team that needs a defensive coordinator, I am looking at Al Harris as a strong candidate.
Absolutely. I think he already is a strong candidate, in my opinion. I think his resume is only improving with the Bears, and now he's learning a little bit from Dennis Allen, so he's becoming part of that tree as well. He's doing a fantastic job right now with, I thought was already a talented secondary, but turning that talent into interceptions and big plays, it's another thing. And Al Harris, his coaching is responsible for it.
One quick nugget, because we're going to share this publicly too in a little bit, just as like a tease for the story. But I love, my favorite thing from the story was, don't cover the receiver, cover the concept. Like that's what that was fat. I'd like never really have thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And then it makes a ton of sense when you think about it. So for the detail on all that, make sure you check out Johnsy's story. Become a diehard right now. You can scan that QR code, get a great deal, get a free shirt, get the Hoge Jahns hat, the merchandise discount, and 20% off all events too. You won't need 20% off if you want to come out Thursday, because it's a free event. Thursday night, we are going to be at the
Tuesday night.
I said, yeah, you're right. I just said it wrong. Tuesday.
I'm editing you now. Tuesday night.
Yeah, we all need editors. Live recording of this show. I believe this is like the first time in 4 years that we've done a live Hoge and Jahns show. It's extremely overdue. We've already had a bunch of people RSVP, so appreciate if you've done that. Again, it's free. It's Tuesday, October 28th. 6 p.m. We're going to be doing a live recording, Chicago Brew House on the Riverwalk, a great venue. Don't worry, they're going to have heat lamps. They're going to have everything set up in a nice, cozy way, and it'll be football weather out there on the Chicago River in a beautiful setting. Cannot wait to do that and see you guys all in person. It's been a long time. So we do ask you, if you don't mind, to go to allchgo.com/events and find that event and just RSVP. Again, it's free, but if you RSVP, it just helps us keep good track of the numbers and everything. So hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. And if you're looking for something to do Sunday to watch the game, we're going to be at Joe's on Wheat Street. Just a reminder on that one. That one does cost $10 to get in. There's also an additional drink package if you want to purchase that. But we've done many events at Joe's. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place to watch the game. So come on out Sunday as well. All right, let's jump into this. It's been a weird week in terms of trying to – I know I've been struggling with this game a lot, but I
still am. I haven't made my final prediction. We'll see what we come up with by the end of the show.
I didn't sleep last night about my prediction after talking to Jeff Zrebiec, because we recorded this with him last night, and I'm just telling you, it's going to make you think. Bears fans are probably going to really enjoy this interview, I think. It's going to make you think twice about how you feel about this game. I know it did for me, and it just confused me even more. Is that fair?
Yeah. Let's listen to Jeff.
Yeah. Here's Jeff Zrebiec. He covers the Ravens, and he had some good insight on Lamar Jackson. All right, let's bring in Jeff Zrebiec, who covers the Ravens for The Athletic. Jeff, you've had Bears fans all over the world following your Twitter feed this week for every little nugget and update they could get on Lamar Jackson. So what's your level of confidence that he's playing on Sunday? Because we've all just been assuming that he is.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. My understanding is today he made some good improvements today. He did a lot more today, looked a lot better. But you guys know from watching practice, and I'm not sure exactly how much you're allowed to watch, but we're not allowed to watch a whole lot. But what we do see, he does not look like a guy that's going to play quarterback in 4 days in an NFL game. And I think with the Ravens, the complications are you have 2 games in basically 5 days, because they play Thursday night football. And part of you says, well, if they lose Sunday, the Bears, they're 1-6. Their playoff hopes are pretty much over. So, you need to go with your best. But if the guy can't play, you don't think he can get through 2 games in 4 or 5 days, I don't think you're going to play him. So the reality is Lamar's earned the right to make this call. They're leaning on him. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken said Thursday that all he needs to say is he's ready to go, and we'll be ready to go. But I would think he'd have to do a lot here to the end of the week to be able to be suiting up there Sunday. It just, it was always going to be a question. This week was the one week there was a question. He wasn't going to play those previous 2 weeks, and it seems to be coming down the wire a little bit. But it's hardly a lock. In fact, I would have liked to see more these past couple of days to suggest he's going to be out there.
So going off that, how would you rate the desperation level in Baltimore right now? Like you said, 1-5, looking at 1-6. Defense isn't playing well. They came in with the highest of expectations. Like, what's the mood like in that city?
Yeah, it's as high as you can get. I mean, we all throw around the must-win label all the time, and then especially in October. But if they lose 1-6, I think one team in the modern NFL era has made the postseason after going 1-6, and that was 1970. So it's just not happening. Like you're not. You'd have to rattle off probably 10 of the last 11 to make the playoffs. So there's been a lot of frustration all year, guys, with this team. It just hasn't clicked. It's kind of been the season from hell. Anything that could go wrong has go wrong. And the quarterback being out during a time where they're really trying to salvage themselves is kind of the cherry on top. So, yeah, there's no question. I mean, the last game against the Rams, you saw a lot of empty seats at MT Bank Stadium. I'm guessing you'll see a lot of them too Sunday. And this team just hasn't put it together in any phase, really hasn't played a complete football game yet. And, a lot of fingers pointing, speculation about John Harbaugh's job. So it's not been a whole lot of fun around here on football Sundays this season, which is rare because the Ravens have been on quite a stable run.
So I'm trying to put together both of your answers so far, because and you kind of address this, if he's not ready to go, he's not ready to go. On the other hand, I mean, this does feel like their season. So,
Yeah.
What is the level of risk that you think that they're willing to take here? Because it's almost like I get it that there's a quick turnaround to Thursday, but Thursday's game almost doesn't matter if they don't win this one.
No question, yeah. And you have a lot better chance of beating the Dolphins on a Thursday night with a backup quarterback than you do beating the Bears at home on a Sunday with a backup quarterback. So, it just – if he can go, he can go, and I think they've made clear, the Raven. I think he's out there at practice. He's been cleared to do that, so I think they'd be comfortable with him out there. But Lamar has to be comfortable, and we haven't talked to Lamar in weeks since he hurt the hamstring. But ultimately, I think you can encourage him, but it's going to be his call and how good he feels. You can't really put yourself in his shoes to be to know how he feels. Only he can tell you that. So look, if he feels completely comfortable, if he doesn't feel like he can aggravate it, he'll be out there. But they're going to have to ramp up quickly because, as I said, this guy hasn't been on the field in 3.5 weeks, and he's been very limited at best. That's a lot of time. You just can't. It would be tough just to practice like once and go out there and play a football game. So, they have to weigh both those things. But, there's some arrogance about the Ravens. They feel like they can win no matter what, even if their quarterback's out, even if other players are out. That's just how they've been. So they're going to play who they have, and they're going to feel pretty good about it. But, I mean, since Lamar's been the quarterback, they're 4-12 all time with him on the sideline injured. So they just haven't had much success at all when he's not able to play.
How was our old friend Roquan Smith doing?
Good. He'll be back. I think that will be a nice bonus for the Ravens defense, which has changed a little bit since he went out. They acquired Alohi Gilman to play safety from the Chargers in that trade with Odafe Owe. And, more than anything, that moves up Kyle Hamilton closer to the line of scrimmage. And that gives them some help in the middle of the field, closer to the line of scrimmage where they've really struggled. And now you add Roquan back in the mix. He said the right things this week, but this one means a lot to him. And not from a vengeance perspective. It's just a matter of you're playing your old team where you spent a lot of time and you want to put on a good show. And, they need him. They need him badly. Their defense has been one of the worst defenses they've had, and they've struggled in the middle of the field. They haven't really done anything particularly well. They're not stopping the run. They're not getting to the quarterback. They're not forcing turnovers. So they feel like they found a little something here with acquiring Gilman and moving Kyle Hamilton close to the line of scrimmage. And they feel like Roquan Smith being back and healthy could, help them even more.
So, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with this. Like, let's if we just hypothetically say Lamar is good to go, is this Ravens team that good? Like, even with Lamar, what do you think about that 6.5 point spread?
Yeah, Vegas loves the Ravens. They always have, and they look at the record. And I'd like to see the spread if he gets ruled out Friday afternoon. I'm not saying that definitely is going to happen. I imagine they'd want some ambiguity about his status and maybe list him as questionable. We'll see. But the reality is you guys are right. They weren't playing well when they were healthy. And they had the, I don't know if you guys remember week 1 of Buffalo. They played great for about 3 quarters, and they looked like a team that, had legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. Then they fell apart in the 4th, and they really haven't recovered. I don't know if that game was all of it, but they just haven't played well. And I think, I've said this, I think national level too, I think we overrated this Ravens roster. I mean, this roster was called the best in the league unanimously. I mean, people have been saying that, and I didn't correct them. I thought it was a pretty damn good roster, but they were thin up front on both in the trenches on both the offensive defensive lines, and then they've gotten hit hard by injuries there, and it's tough to win when you're not playing well along the offensive line and along the defensive line. So I think we've all seen it though, where Lamar gets going and they ride the wave. And they just, they're great front runners when they're feeling good about themselves and stuff's working, and they can just dump truck teams. And I think people are waiting to see that Ravens team that we've seen in previous regular seasons, but we just haven't seen that yet. And, they haven't earned the benefit of the doubt this year to think they can just flip a switch and they're going to be, that dominant regular season team that they've been in recent years.
You go through like these defensive statistics, and it's kind of like mind blowing because you're used to equating the Ravens in great defensive play, but here they are, 32nd in points, 30th in net yards per game, 26th in rushing yards, 28th in passing yards, 27th in scrimmage yards per play. Like, they're not good on third down. Fewest sacks in the league. Like, this seems like more than injuries to me, right?
Yeah, no question. Yeah, I mean, they haven't. I said it earlier. They have not done a single thing well defensively. Not every stat across the board. And I mean, usually you could just take it granted. The Ravens defense could roll out of bed and stop the run. No one ever used to run on the Ravens, but they can't even do that anymore. In fact, that's been a major issue. The second-year defensive coordinator, Zach Gore, has been under a lot of heat here. This was supposed to be a really good defense, and it just hasn't. It hasn't clicked, and they got off to a real struggle early. But the big thing is, they're not impacting the quarterback at all. And by that, I mean they're not getting them in second and longs and third and longs where they can get after them. Their outside linebackers, I saw a stat like a week ago, they're chipped and doubled less than any guys in football. Like, so no one's afraid of their edge rushers. So more guys are going in the route. And, you guys know. And I don't care how talented of a secondary you have. If you're not impacting the quarterback, there's no secondary in football that's going to hold up consistently. So, it's been bad. It really has. And I do think they played reasonably well against the Rams in their last outing. And I think moving Kyle Hamilton close to the line of scrimmage helped with that. He erases some stuff. He blitzes. He covers well. He can pretty much play everywhere. He's their best player on that side of the football. So I think they feel like he settled things down close to the line of scrimmage. Getting Roquan Smith will settle things down more, but they still have to find a way to get a pass rush, and they haven't rushed the quarterback. And their, defensive coordinator said this week, we spent most of the bye week trying to figure out a way to scheme pressure, change presser packages. We need to get to the quarterback because it's something they haven't done. They haven't been able to unsettle a quarterback this year.
You mentioned off the top, there's some heat rising on John Harbaugh, which kind of seems unfathomable to us. But
we know change here, Jeff.
Yeah.
Stability. We know change.
Yeah, it is the NFL, so I get it. I mean, Kyle Shanahan was kind of going through the same thing last year as the 49ers were the team from hell. That can't be a real fear, is it?
I think they would have to really bottom out, and there would have to be proof that he's completely lost the locker room. And, you know how it is with fans, and a lot of Raven fans have never forgiven Harbaugh for the playoff no-shows, and not just the losses, just they've played poorly in recent years in the playoffs, and they've kind of lost their identity, and he's that started it. And now with this, more people are jumping on the bandwagon that his voice has gone stale, and they're, putting focus on stories like ping pong tables, and other things that really don't matter. If John leaves, or if they move on, I think it would be one of those mutual things like, look, this has been a great run, 18 years. We're going to reset the organization. They have like 24 free agents this offseason. Lamar's contract, something has to happen with him. His cap number goes into the mid 70 millions, which is untenable if you're going to build a roster. So they have so much to do this offseason. So if they have this year from hell, or I should say, if this year from hell continues, and, they're staring at 5 wins and they just figure, you know what, this probably is a good time to reset everything. And it's been a great run, almost a 2-decade run. Let's make a change there. But I think Raven fans think if they don't make the playoffs, he's gone automatically, which I would push back on. I mean, he's very close with the owner. They feel like he's a top 5 coach in the NFL. So I don't think it's a given by any stretch if they don't make it that he's gone. But I could see a scenario absolutely absolutely where they decide this offseason's a good one to have kind of an organizational wide reset. And that ultimately could lead him going elsewhere.
How much of that organizational decision is just his decision on this?
Yeah.
Like, would they like leave it up to him in a sense?
Well, yeah, they have a weird structure. Like the GM Eric DeCosta. Well, I don't know if it's weird. I can't say I know how many teams do it exactly, but he reports to the owner, and the owner makes the decision. Like it's the GM's really not involved in terms of the head coach. I mean, he's involved, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Harbaugh does not report to Eric DeCosta. He reports to owner Steve Bisciotti, and they are very close. They have a friendship. Steve Bisciotti has made that very clear that John Harbaugh is the football coach he wants going forward, and he values stability. So I think you're right. I think there would be discussions with him, and they definitely want to know how he feels about it and where he thinks things are going and how long he wants to stay and all that. But guys, he just signed a 3-year contract extension like 7 months ago. So they envision him being their coach going forward. But then again, nobody envisioned this and what's happened over these first 7 weeks of the season.
One more before we ask you to make a tough prediction. What's Henry in the run game? Because he was so dominant last year, and it just doesn't seem like it's the same effectiveness this year.
Yeah, the fumbling issue came out of nowhere with Derrick Henry, and I wonder how much that got into his head a little bit, where he was a little more tentative than what we've seen. I mean, he 3 fumbles in 3 straight weeks and lost 2 of them in key spots in the fourth quarter. The Ravens haven't played well, and they deserve to be 1-5. But if he holds on to those 2 balls, their record would probably look a little bit different. So I think that was part of it. But the offensive line has just been bad, and I mean the metrics all show he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage way more than he ever did last year, and I haven't really seen signs that he's slowed down per se. Obviously, every year he gets older, you're going to see maybe a little bit decrease. But, he showed against the Rams. He was well over 100 yards. I think their offensive line just needs to be better. Their guard play has been particularly poor. And you lose the one thing, guys, that I don't want to get on my soapbox here, but that whole argument last year and why Josh Allen was the MVP, and I think Josh Allen's a deserving MVP, don't get me wrong, but everyone discredited Lamar because they had Derrick Henry. I think we're seeing this year what helped Derrick Henry have that season. I mean, the Ravens don't have a dominant offensive line, and they need the quarterback run threat to get their running game as successful as it's been in recent years. And they haven't had that with Lamar Jackson being hurt the last 2+ weeks. So I think that's impacted Henry. Teams are loading the box. They're putting a spy up there. Even when Lamar was playing, they were putting a spy up there, and they just haven't been able to run in heavy boxes like they've been in the past. So again, they kind of called it a little differently in the last game against the Rams, and they had a lot of success running the football. I think they feel good about their running game going forward, but I think it's more of a team-wide struggle than anything particular about Derrick Henry's perceived demise.
When you look at the Bears from the Ravens side of things, like which matchups do you think are ones the Ravens are looking at as advantages? Where are you concerned about the Bears? Like, how do you see this playing out on Sunday?
It's funny you say that because, Bears fans have been great. Like I've been hearing from them all week, and somebody asked me on Twitter, does anything about the Bears even worry the Ravens? And I'm like, they're 1-5. Everything worries the Ravens right now. I mean, it's not, they haven't been able to do anything well. This was a team that got beat 44-17 by the Texans 3 weeks ago, and that's not a very good Texans team. I think what has to worry the Ravens most is the Bears control the game with their run game. And, it sounds crazy that, teams feel like that they can just run at will against the Ravens, but this year's Ravens defense has given them no reason to think otherwise. And if they get that run game going and Caleb Williams has plenty of time to make plays down the field, this will become another difficult game for the Ravens. So they've still yet to put together a game where they showed all 3 phases and played good complementary football. So Bears are playing really well. I said it earlier to somebody else who asked me a prediction. I just said it feels like it's 2 teams headed in opposite directions. I mean, I know it's cliche, but it's kind of hard to get away from how well the Bears have been playing and how poorly the Ravens have been playing. And, I picked the Bears under the idea that I don't think either Lamar won't play or he won't be completely healthy. So if Lamar was healthy, I would pick a desperate Ravens team at home. But we've been giving the Ravens the benefit of the doubt for much of the year, but they haven't earned it this year. And we're now in week 8 and they're 1-5. So they are what they've shown so far. So, I give Bears a slight edge, but I give myself the out that if Lamar Jackson is playing and healthy, I think the Ravens would win this game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jeff, we appreciate your time. Awesome coverage all week as we've been following it closely. And I know that'll continue into the weekend with this game. So everybody should be following him at Jeff Zrebiec and reading him in The Athletic. Thanks, man.
Good deal, guys. Enjoyed it.
Okay, Johns. At minimum, I don't know if I'm still convinced that Lamar's not playing. But Jeff did have me convinced he's not going to be very mobile.
Yeah. I'm convinced, and I said this on CHGO show yesterday, like Lamar Jackson is in that tier of quarterbacks who can play without practicing because he's that good. But I acknowledge that part of his game is his mobility. It's his running ability. And if he can't have that, maybe he's reconsidering things. Maybe he's looking at that game on Thursday night against the Miami Dolphins as his potential return. And maybe he's skipping the Bears game. But I don't know, man. We're talking about John Harbaugh and his job security. I feel like this is a desperate time for the Ravens. And this means it's a desperate time for Lamar Jackson, isn't it?
You would think so. And there's a couple things, too. I mean, think about what Jeff said about how Derrick Henry needs Lamar Jackson and to get the running game going. They need that threat of the run. So even if Lamar's playing, but he's not really a threat to run, that might be enough to not make the offense work. Because
it's not working without Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And I get it. Like, he's immensely difficult to replace. He's a special player, one of the best players in the entire league. But, man, you think a franchise that entered this season with the highest of expectations and hope, it's almost gone.
I'm taking what Jeff said, and I'm combining it with some of these quotes that have come out, including Todd Monken yesterday, basically saying if Lamar says he's ready to go, then he'll play. You read between the lines here, and I feel like they're saying our doctors think he's healthy enough to play, so it's on him. And that creates a fascinating dynamic where if he doesn't play, if you're a Ravens fan, aren't you frustrated with that?
Well, I think they're frustrated with a lot of things this season. That's just another big one on the list.
All right. Well, now we got to figure out how the hell to pick this game. It's even more confusing now. But before we do that, we'll always get to our 3 big questions, our over-unders for this game, and then we'll come back around. We will pick this thing. A lot of different angles, including Roquan Smith, still to discuss. But first,
our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your football season, like Ben Johnson is doing for the Bears. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They have a crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from, with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you. They have spots as far south as Champaign and as far north as South Beloit. Stop in the store nearest you for your expert guidance from their staff. You just have to visit Sunnyside.com for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. That's HICHGO. For returning customers, use code CHGO50. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders.
And for our card collectors out there, you know who you are. Are you ready to level up your collection or just get started trading cards? Arena Club's original slab packs bring the thrill of ripping packs combined with the power to buy, sell, and trade all in one place. Think about the traditional trading card style. You buy a box, you rip open the packs, you pull a few valuable cards, then you send them off for grading. Then weeks later, you finally get them back, blah, blah, blah. It takes a long time. Well, Arena Club has flipped that entire cycle on its head. What used to take weeks now happens just in minutes, all on their digital platform. Get authentic, graded cards instantly on Arena Club. You decide, hold, sell, or have it shipped to you directly. You can also decide to take an instant cash offer based on market value. One click, cash in, no guesswork. And yes, the packs are digital, but the cards are real. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, grading, or ripping packs, Arena Club is the safest, most trusted in the game. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/CHGO. Use code CHGO.
All right, Adam, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. 3. No? Mike. Is that Mike?
Probably not.
Vic.
Okay.
Here it comes anyway. Ready? 3 big questions. Number 1. Who would you rather have on the current Bears? Tremaine Edmonds or Roquan Smith? It's a more difficult question than you thought it would be.
Okay. It's not, though.
Tremaine Edmonds is playing very good football right now.
He is. The answer is Roquan Smith. The guy's a 3-time All-Pro. He's still really good. I'm sorry.
I don't think he was playing good football though earlier this season.
He wasn't playing All-Pro football. He was still playing pretty good. I mean, for everything that Tremaine is doing, I think if you put Roquan... Now, if you tweak this question to what fans, and I know somebody listening to this right now is saying, but it's Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards versus Roquan Smith.
Okay.
Because that's what the money says. This is... Look, I think up until the Raiders game, the Roquan Smith side of that was winning the argument. And then Roquan got hurt, and the Bears went on this run, and now the last couple of weeks, TJ Edwards has been back, and these two guys have looked pretty good. So I will just say right now with Dennis Allen, it finally looks like this has worked out for both teams. But of these 3 guys, Roquan Smith is the best of the 3 players.
I've always considered this, like this conversation we're having right now about these linebackers, like such an interesting exercise in terms of roster investment. Like some teams are willing to pour resources into non-premium positions and to trade for a Roquan Smith and then pay a Roquan Smith. Well, the Bears counter by bringing in 2 very good linebackers in TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. And the price, as you said, is just about the same. I don't know. I think Tremaine Edmonds has earned some recognition. So I'm going to go with Edmonds in this conversation right now.
Wow. Okay. Second question.
Number 2. Who will the Bears miss more on Sunday if they don't play? Cole Kmet or Tyreek Stevenson?
Well, I hope the answer is Stevenson because they drafted a tight end in the first round. So the answer better be Stevenson. I also think it is Stevenson. He's been playing really, really well. And do we want to get into this now? I talked about this a little bit in my whiteboard segment yesterday, Johns. The cat and mouse with personnel, I think, is going to be fascinating in this game because you have a team here in the Ravens that run a lot of 12 personnel and can get you in your base defense. And last week, after Stevenson went out, you would have thought they would have just kicked Kyler Gordon and kept him out there with Sean Wright. But it was actually Nick McLeod that came in, and Kyler Gordon was off the field when they were in base. So if I'm the Ravens, I'm looking at that like, well, I want 6 off the field. So can we just, stay in more 12 when the Ravens run at the 3rd most in the entire league? How does Dennis Allen counter that? Was that just because there was an injury in the middle of the game and McLeod has practiced at both positions, and that's just kind of the game plan you go in with? If this happens, if this player gets hurt, this is how we handle it. Now with a week of practice, do you trust Kyler Gordon to be on the field against 12 personnel in your base defense, or do you just go lighter? and stay in nickel against their 12, which is another option. I don't know what the answer is, but I know that Kyler Gordon needs to be on the field.
So a couple things on this. Let's go all the way back to training camp. I think you and I were actually sitting together when we saw this. When the Bears took the field in their, well, it was base defense. Jalen Johnson, I believe, was still out. And their base defense was Tyreek Stevenson and Kyler Gordon at cornerback. We only saw it for a little bit, like briefly on one day. But then let's flash forward to last week when the injury immediately happens. The Bears stayed in nickel. Josh Blackwell takes the field, and it's Kyler Gordon who bumps out to cornerback, at least in the nickel defense. And obviously Nick McLeod would have been the other guy coming in, but or Nick McLeod had already come in for Nashon Wright. So there you have it. Like, that was the look they gave with Josh Blackwell there in nickel. So I'm with you. I think Kyler Gordon, I put this in my takeaways earlier this week, can be the most disruptive player on this Bears roster when he's healthy. He could do so much in so many different capacities, from rushing the passer to playing receivers down the seam to being an outside cornerback if you need him to be. And I think if you talk to Kyler Gordon, he'd love to play some outside corner. I think we saw some of that in the locker room the other day.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the plan. All I know is he needs to be on the field. And if I'm the Ravens, I'm doing everything I can to keep him off the field if the Bears are good, if that's how they're going to counter. But especially with Stevenson out. So I think the Bears will miss Tyreek Stevenson more. That being said, Cole has been very good blocking this year, and Loveland is still a rookie. I think Colson's shown a good ability to block. I think he's been fine. But I think you got to give Cole Kmet some credit for being part of this running game resurgence as of late, and not having him, he will be missed too.
Yeah, both players will be missed. I'd have to give Stevenson the edge in this just because of the depth. You're missing your top two cornerbacks right now if you're the Chicago Bears. As far as the Kmet side of this conversation, this is where I wanted to give Colson Loveland some credit because I thought he was outstanding just in terms of blocking last week. He was physical, and these were concerns that a lot of people had about him coming out of Michigan. How can he handle blocking assignments? And I think he's winning over the Bears with his physicality, with his willingness to get dirty with some of these bigger defensive ends.
Yeah. I agree. I tried to get him to talk a little bit about that rep on Kyle Monongai's touchdown where they were like kind of going at it, and then he ended up getting pancake. He won the rep, but yeah, he didn't really want to bite on that.
They wrestled a bit. It led to a little
just football. Yeah.
All right, number 3. Can you name the 3 current Bears who played against the Ravens in their last meeting?
I think so.
That would be November 21st, 2021 at Soldier Field.
Well, wouldn't two of them be the 2 guys we were just talking about?
No.
Why not? Cole Kmet wasn't one of them?
Cole Kmet was one. You said both of them.
Not Tyreek Stevenson?
No.
Was he out?
No.
What do you mean he wasn't out? He had to be. He was drafted the same year.
I don't think he was.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Jalen Johnson. I'm sorry.
Yes, there you go. There's another.
Yeah, that's what I just had a brain fart. Yes, Jalen Johnson. And then Cairo Santos.
There you go.
Yeah.
A lot of turnover in 4 years there.
Just 3. Yeah. The Bears lost that game to Tyler Huntley.
Yes.
Who might be
starting this week. Can you name a couple other starters on defense that year?
Roquan Smith.
Okay.
John Jenkins.
John Jenkins is on the Ravens right now.
I know. That's why I thought of him, because I was doing some work on him yesterday. Man, that's crazy. Who would have I don't even know. Who would the safeties have been? I don't know.
The starters: Angelo Blackson, Bilal Nichols, Eddie Goldman, Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn, Deshaun Gibson, Jalen Johnson. Hold on. Travis Gibson. Deshaun Gibson, right? DeAndre Houston Carson, Kendall Vildor, and Alec Ogletree.
So the only name I feel like of all the ones you named that I should have gotten was Robert Quinn. That one I should remember. All right. Yeah, a lot of turnover. Probably good. Probably a good thing. Over-unders.
You
What
ready?
do we got?
Hold on. Let me pull them up. All right, first over-under. This is from Kenneth. Does the train keep rolling? Over-under 2.5 takeaways by the defense.
I'm going to take the under. But I'm going to say they do get 2.
How about if Lamar Jackson plays?
I mean, I think I'm still going in that direction.
2?
I'm going to say he plays and it's 2.
Okay. From Flawed Bears fan, I'm going to say 2, too. No, know what? I'll go over. I'll take the over. I'll take 3.
I was going to say, you just wrote that story.
Yeah.
They got to get the 4 again, right?
I'll take 3. From Flawed Bears fan, Colston Loveland catches over under 4.5.
I'm going to take the over. I still think they got to get him going. I think this is a good matchup for him. Probably a higher target share, higher rep share with Cole Kmet. Even if Cole's playing, you got to think he's going to be a little limited. Yeah, so I'm going to go over on this.
From King's Ivory, over under Loveland TDs, half.
Well, you didn't answer the last one.
I'll put them together here in a minute.
I'll still take the under on TDs.
I'm going to go over on both. This is the breakout week. He's going to be rewarded for his blocking this week.
Okay. That was your bold prediction last week, by the way, a Loveland TD.
I know. Sometimes you have to manifest these things.
I think you did this with Cole Kmet like his entire rookie year.
Yeah. For his entire career, maybe. And every time I didn't pick him, he scored.
Right.
Maybe this will become a new bit with Colston Loveland. All right, from Tommy, Austin Booker snaps 8.5.
Well, I don't know. Are we thinking he's coming back this week?
He's been like a full participant in practice.
Well, he's obviously healthy enough to come back. They don't. Like, I thought when they sent Tano Passanio down to the practice squad that he was going to be the guy coming up because that's the same position. But they didn't really lose anybody else this week. So, and when's that practice window?
He's got to be, it's 21 days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many days is he into it? Almost 2 weeks?
At least. Because, I mean,
like, do you think that the Cairo Santos injury situation played a factor in this because they needed the roster spot, they needed the flexibility?
yeah,
They didn't have the roster spot, I should say.
Yeah, but you're allowed to elevate those guys anyway. I don't know. I can't find this off the top of my head.
What we do know is the Bears' pass rush needs to be better, and I think everyone's putting a lot of high expectations on Austin Booker to being that spark, and I don't know if that's fair or not, really, but we'll see. He's a different lineman than the rest of them.
Yeah. I'm going to say over because I think, all right, it opened October 7th. So that was...
Well, then we're hitting it. Close.
I think technically it could be activated Monday and still be fine, right?
Right.
So they could keep him out one more week and then activate him Monday. I don't know.
All right.
If he plays, I'm going over.
Okay. I agree. Just interesting conversation.
Yeah.
From Serotonin, Caleb completion percentage over under 61.5.
By the way, one quick note: they're not going to let Booker just rot on IR. They will activate him, in case that's a question for everybody. They're not going to just shelve him for the year. It's not that hard of a call. It's just a matter of when the deadline is. Caleb completion percent. I'm going to say over. I think he just has to bounce back this week. So, and that's not that. Asking him to go over 61.5 shouldn't be that hard. So I will take the over.
Yeah, you would hope it could hit the over here, and I think you'll see a few more check downs completed against the Ravens. This is from John. Smiles by Ben during the game, half.
I'll take the under.
He's smiling on the sideline.
Not really. Did
Yes,
you see the compilation of?
I did, but that's like an edited version. He's high-fiving guys and he's talking to guys. But
that's my thing. Even when because the Bears longer version, the 5-minute version, I watched yesterday, and it's not like he's not reacting. I do think that one the NFL Films put out where he was like not reacting at all to the interceptions was a little bit
misleading. Yeah,
because he's high-fiving the guys coming off the field and stuff. However, I don't remember seeing him smile.
How about smirks? He's got a lot of smirks.
Yeah. He's
over. Come on.
Okay. I'll take the under.
All right. Still from John. I like this one. Horrible calls against the Bears. 1.5. Over. It's a trend now.
It'll probably be over on the Ravens too. The officiating this year is not good. And last week was a disaster.
Who shared the stats this week that penalties are up across the league?
I mean, my eyes are telling me this.
Jonathan Jones, I think, from CBS had the story.
Yeah. The last weekend was the ref show across the league, and it continued into Monday night. If anybody's staying up late even for that Seahawks game, it was the same thing. They're missing offsides calls. They're just it's horrible.
No good. Last one. Over. If I didn't say it before.
Yeah.
Well, Chicago
Rogers says they're going to use AI now.
That sounds disastrous.
How about just have your officials be full-time employees? Let's just start with that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Help them, teach them, give them more work. From Chicago Card Guy, over under 75,000 pen clicks from Ben Johnson.
75 is a lot. 75,000 is a lot. I will take the under on that. 75, I'll take the over.
So as a fellow pen clicker, I'm a pen clicker.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Because I want to know if the other coaches are annoyed that they
hear that.
Well, if his mic's right here on his headset and he's going like this half the game,
yeah,
I would think they would.
But
hear
not all that. But not all the time. Sometimes it's low.
He really clicks that thing.
Yeah, maybe it's like a silent pen clicker. No, you can really hear it. I click my pen a lot, especially when I'm thinking, walking around. When I'm walking to the locker room, I have the clicky pen, and I'm going at it too. So I understand the.
My move is this. I just do this a lot.
Yeah. No. Well, now I'm gonna really. You do that?
I do that a lot. I don't know why.
I watch my pen clicks during press conferences because I know they can be picked up. But walking around the locker room and when
like Peggy Kaczynski's typing.
Well, that was it's like she was like playing piano in the press conference room.
She's gonna be mad at me for that.
I just do like how many pen clicks can you get in 3 seconds? Put it up to the mic real quick.
Well, now I gotta fix my mic first. All
right, I'll count.
How many in 3 seconds? What are you gonna time this?
Yeah.
How am I gonna count it?
It's like a play call, right?
All right, ready? Go.
1.
This isn't my best clicky pen. Hang on.
That's a lot of clicks. Oh yeah, that's at least a dozen in 3 seconds.
That's got better clickage.
Anyway.
The audio podcast listeners are going to be like shaking their head.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it in the mic
anyway.
For them. So otherwise, they wouldn't be able to see what we're doing.
Anyway, there's your test of something we wanted to explore.
Somebody's stuck in traffic. Someone's stuck in Friday traffic on the Kennedy right now, already annoyed, and now it's like, what are you doing to me? I apologize. All right.
I think we're taking another break, right?
Yeah, we're there's your over-unders, your 3 big questions. When we come back, we're going to be our feet to the fire. We're going to have to make picks. We're going to have to make a prediction on this game. We will do that next. But first.
All right, Adam, it's Friday night in Chicago. You know what that means. It's pizza night, and I'm telling you, the best pairing for Chicago-style tavern pizza is RC Cola. RC Cola is not a soft drink, just damn good cola. It's the original cola that doesn't fold under pressure. RG is an OG cola in a world of spineless soft drinks. No trends, no gimmicks, no glow up. RC hasn't changed its stripes since 1905 because it didn't need to. It's the same bold, crisp flavor it's always been. So do yourself a favor. Grab yourself some RC at your local store. Stock up for all of your end of summer parties, back to school celebrations, or just watching the next Bears game, Bulls game, Hawks game, any game. It all works. RC is the move for whatever you're doing.
And we've all been there. You know that moment, the one where you realize you left your favorite sunglasses somewhere, maybe on the roof of your car, or just we got kids. They
break
take them. They put them places. They break them. Whatever. Yeah, I've been there too. But then I found Shady Rays, and it completely changed the game because these sunglasses are made for real life. They're seriously good looking. They're polarized. They're durable. They're not stupidly expensive. And they have styles for pretty much anything you want to do. Hiking, golfing, just stylish sunglasses you want to wear when you're going out. They have sunglasses for everything. That's why I have multiple pairs. And here's the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my sunglasses all the time without fear, especially in the summer when you're outside, you're doing all kinds of things, hikes, concerts, on the boat, wherever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code CHO. You'll get 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The Shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. All right, Johnsy, it is that time. Predictions. I feel like we need to flip a coin to decide who goes first.
All right, I'll do it. CBS Noon, Bears at Ravens. When I set this up, I used the ESPN listing of all the games, right? Still at 6.5. 6.5. So I'll start with this. Take the Bears.
Well, they haven't heard Jeff's interview yet, so we'll see if the line moves.
If you're listening right now, hurry up. Take the Bears. Even with Lamar Jackson, I think the Bears can keep this close. I don't know why it's this high. I would think that you would think that the Ravens are 4-2 and the Bears are 1-5. Maybe it's just the reputations here. But one team, as Jeff put it, seems to be rising and one seems to be falling. And it's the Bears who are rising. I'm going to go with the Bears in this one. With or without Lamar Jackson on the other side. Everything I'm reading, everything that Jeff has just told us on this podcast, and I think will continue throughout the weekend. He doesn't look healthy. I know what I said. I think he's an elite quarterback who could still play very well if he's hurt and not feeling himself. But I don't know. Something right now, it's telling me to take the Bears. Maybe it's my gut reaction. I think the Bears can run the ball on this defense. That's probably where this prediction really lies. This defense with Roquan Smith and with Kyle Hamilton isn't very good. The defensive line consists of retreads. I think the Bears could run the football. I think DeAndre Swift has another productive day. All the stats that we laid out with Jeff suggest this should be a good day for Caleb Williams too. So I'm going to take Bears 27, Ravens 23. Bears 27, Ravens 23. They win on the road. Yeah, I feel good about that. Bold prediction. Wow. I think DeAndre Swift breaks 100 and scores another touchdown again. Breaks 125 and scores another touchdown again.
Bold predictions.
Good. That's good. All right. Look, that interview with Jeff definitely had me thinking. I mean, and it's not just because, okay, Lamar doesn't play. That's obviously huge for the Bears. But if he does play, he's probably not going to be 100% still. And that really changes things. That being said, there's another thing he said that I agree with because I went back and watched the game. I thought the Ravens played better and their defense played better against the Rams before the bye. And the Rams are a good team. And the Ravens are now even healthier coming out of the bye. So I do think, regardless of what's going on with Lamar Jackson, that I'm struggling to buy the idea that the Bears are just going to be able to run the ball like they have the last 2 weeks, and they're just going to be able to throw the ball like crazy. Do I think there's going to be opportunities to score points? Yes. Do I think they can get to 21 points again like they have in every single game so far this year? Yes. I think so. But I can't get over the hump on this one. With or without Lamar, I think this is still a good enough team. This is in Baltimore. A little bit of a law of averages going on with the takeaways. The turnover differentials with these two teams is just, it's a stark contrast. So I don't know. Or maybe it just keeps continuing that way because the Ravens are bad and the Bears are better.
Everyone is watching Adam Hoge's decision making in live right now.
Kind of, but I actually do have my number and I am sticking to it. I'm going to go with the Ravens winning 24-21. I don't feel great about it. What I do feel great about, I agree with you. I think this line is ridiculous. Now, I also know better. This is not the year of we should know better. That was last year, but we should kind of know better with these lines and what Vegas does. Everybody in the world is saying this line doesn't make sense. So it's on the table that the Ravens somehow cover because that's just sort of how this works sometimes when it comes to Vegas. So I'm going to guarantee that I'm wrong one way or the other here by locking the Bears to cover the 6.
Wow, we haven't done locks in a bit. Okay.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Yeah. So one way or the other, I'll be wrong. Either the Ravens will win and cover, or the Bears will just win outright, and then my prediction will be wrong. It's just going to be that kind of week. That's fine. Bold prediction. Bold prediction. I am going to say that that's probably not bold enough. I was going to say that do we think Cairo Santos is coming back, by the way?
It's starting to, after like Wednesday, I didn't think so. Thursday, started to think so. Maybe, but.
All right, how about this? I was going to say whoever's kicking is perfect again, but that's not bold enough. Bears block either a kick or a punt in this game.
Ooh, special teams.
Little special teams for you as I wear my Carmel special team shirt today. All right.
Every yard matters.
Speaking of Ravens and one of the all-time Ravens and Bears, as we go on and move, continue to pick the rest of these games.
All right, so 2 words, Aaron Rodgers.
Hall of Fame. 2 words.
Of course, not speaking of Aaron Rodgers, talking about Pernell McPhee. I miss Pernell.
Good player.
CBS noon. It is the now Tyrod Taylor led New York Jets as Justin Fields was benched and had the bus just driven right over him by Woody Johnson this week. At the Bengals,
And then backed up.
yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
I feel bad for Justin.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve that. That's ridiculous. When a guy does, regardless of how he's playing, when a guy does everything right on and off the field, the owner shouldn't. That's complete BS. Did Woody Johnson apologize? Because he should have.
Does it even matter?
I mean, it
Damn.
kind of does. It kind of does. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go play for that.
So when I
organization.
started to put these games in this list, there weren't a lot of good games.
Yeah.
So a lot of the games we're about to pick are games or teams upcoming on the Bears schedule, including
That makes
the
sense. Yeah, it's like the Bengals. The Bengals playing better. They have Joe Flacco. Offensively, he's unlocked some things because he's smart enough to throw the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It's
Makes
not
sense.
that hard. Bengals 6.5-point favorites in this one.
I'm going to take the Jets just to cover. Bengals win by 5, 6. I don't think this is going to be a pretty game. but the Bengals have the better quarterback. They have the older and better quarterback in Joe Flacco. They win by 4 or 5. Jets can cover.
Fair enough.
I'd like to see him get his hands on more balls.
Fox noon. It's a revenge game for the Eagles, who lost to the Giants a couple weeks ago in New York on Thursday night. The Giants go to Philly now, and the Eagles are a 7.5 point favorite. I didn't pick that game. What am I doing?
Not to say.
Yeah, I will say Bengals cover.
Okay.
And I will also say the Eagles cover.
Eagles cover?
7.5.
I think the Giants just... I'm going to take the Giants to cover. Yeah.
Okay.
Something with Dart and Scatterbo is working, even though I think Brian Daboll still gets fired at the end of the season. They keep things close. They keep things fun. They're in games. Eagles win, Giants cover.
See, I think there's two things going against them. One, the Eagles are probably embarrassed with that game a couple weeks ago, and they're way better. And then on top of that, you have that awful collapse in Denver last week. That's going to be hard to recover from. So I'm taking the Eagles in this one here.
Your research.
That is Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Fox noon, 49ers at Texans. Is that right? The Texans are a 1.5 point favorite?
Yeah. I was surprised by that too.
Why?
Don't know. Mac Jones?
I guess. I mean, their defense is good. The Texans' defense is good. But offensively, they're a mess. CJ Stroud doesn't look that great.
I will double check this for you.
I'm sure you're right. I mean, I kind of.
Wow. So today, after setting this up yesterday, Houston is now 2.5 point favorite. Are we missing something on the 49ers injury report? They did lose one of the best defensive players in the league, but
Yeah, but that was a few weeks ago. They're 5-2.
anyway, I'm taking the 49ers to win outright here.
Yeah.
I don't think Houston is a very good team.
Their injury report seems fine. In fact, they're getting guys back on defense. Yeah, I don't know. This one seems fishy too. Like I should be picking the Texans just because of the line. Just like the Ravens line is fishy. But I'll take the 49ers here. Especially if they're getting 2.5 now.
I mean, Texans are 2-4.
That's wild.
The good thing is after 3 straight, usually kickers like to go right from the net to the field. He's been standing out here for a good 5 minutes. So
there's another one. There's another good observation.
See, I'm glad Hoge's not here today.
Yeah,
We're getting all this good stuff from Jeff.
We didn't know any of this stuff.
He's having tea and crumpets.
Shots fired.
The best part is the tea and crumpets line, right?
Yeah.
Just ready for it. He had that ready to go.
Yeah. Because I was in London.
Yes.
You were also in London. Sick.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. These years keep flying by. All right, CBS 325. Cowboys at Broncos. A battle. An all-city battle here, Johnsy. We got DLLS versus DNVR. Good game. Broncos 3.5 point favorites at home.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. What they did last week was quite amazing, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of the momentum carries over. I know what you're saying about the Giants side of things, but I think it's even more prevalent, those feelings for the Broncos. So give me Bo Nix and all that magic that he has right now beating the Cowboys in probably a high-scoring game, even though the Broncos have a pretty darn good defense.
Yeah, I just think the Broncos are going to be able to do enough defensively to slow down this good Cowboys offense. Cowboys seem to be a different team on the road, and their defense is bad enough that Bo Nix, who I'm just still not a Bo Lieber, sorry, but I think against this defense he'll be able to do enough to win the game. However, the hook on the 3 concerns me for a Broncos team that I don't know is really capable of blowing a team out. So I am actually going to take the Cowboys to cover that. This game stays within a field goal, but I do have the Broncos winning.
All right.
His quote, courtesy of Adam Hoge.
Sunday night, NBC, a really good game. 7:20. The Packers go to Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers facing his former team for the first time. It is the first time, right? I'm not forgetting. Yeah.
Did you see the photo that our friend Matt Steinman shared of Aaron Rodgers talking to the Packers beat writers over Zoom?
No.
All smiles.
Yeah. Well, I think he always had a pretty good relationship with those guys.
He
It
did.
was more, yeah, it was more of some of the national stuff. But Schneidman, Domofsky, Pete
West.
Doherty. Yeah.
Those guys have been at it for a long time in Green Bay.
No, it's a good group up there. It's a good group up there. The Packers are a 2.5-point favorite in this game.
Give me the Steelers and Rodgers.
Wow. Yeah, I do. I don't think that Steelers defense is that good, though. But here's the other thing. I don't think the Packers are that good. I rewatched that Packers. I was at their Packer game against the Bengals a couple weeks ago, and then I watched the game against the Cardinals yesterday. Jordan Love's missing wide open guys in the end zone on a 4th and 5, bold call to go to the end zone on it. Should have been a touchdown. It just seemed like they're fine. Like they're not great. They're just fine. Although if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm a little worried that Michael Parsons woke up and finally got home on the quarterback 3 times on Sunday.
Something strikes me. You're going to get some vintage Aaron Rodgers moments at Lambeau. No, it's not at Lambeau. It's at
it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but you're going to get some vintage Aaron Rodgers moments against his former team.
Yeah. This is a good one. All right. I'll go with you. I will take the Steelers. I don't know if they win though, but the 2.5 I'll take it. I think this will be a good game.
Yeah.
The Packers, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, go Bears.
Bob covered it all right there.
He did.
Hitting both teams. All right, fun episode. And this should be a good game. I mean, honestly, when you look at some of these games this weekend, that's if Lamar plays, I think, but should be a good one. Fun interview with Jeff. Good insight. We appreciate it. Again, come out to Joe's on Sunday if you're looking for a place to watch the game. It's just $10 to get in. It's a great venue. Good watch party. Everybody but Adam Jahns will be there because he's going to be in Baltimore.
I will be in lovely Baltimore.
But if you want to see Jahns, then you come out Tuesday night on the river. Chicago Brew House on the Riverwalk.
Again, I will be in lovely Chicago that night.
You will be. You will be.
I've never really been to Baltimore.
Really?
So I'm staying downtown this time. I think, walk to Camden Yards Stadium. The football stadium's not too far away.
I believe I walked there from my hotel last time I was there too. Walked right past the ballpark and did the whole crab cake thing afterwards. They had a nice dinner at a place on the water with our old friend Rich Campbell that night after the game, after the Bears won.
He wouldn't know where to go there.
Yeah. Won their last trip. Tariq Cohen threw a touchdown in that game.
The Zach Miller.
And he knew it, too. He knew he threw it. It was an absolute dime. And he put his arms up like while the ball was still in the air.
I remember more about that game than I do from 2021.
I do, too.
The moment when Mitch Trubisky scrambles and throws that pass to Kendall Wright, I think all of us were like, okay, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are on to something. Maybe this is finally it. We were all wrong in terms of inflating that moment, but
for that season, but I mean, I still think there were signs from that game that led to 2018.
Yeah, because
remember that was the 2017 season, so there were some glimpses there that led once a new coaching staff came in, that team could take off the following year. So. And Fangio was coaching in that game. All right, we're out of here. Appreciate everybody watching, listening. Please hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Helps grow the channel, get more visibility on the show. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you very, very much. and rate and review the pod. Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast, we are there for you. Enjoy the football this weekend. We will be back on Monday with a live recap show as we do on Monday mornings. See if we'll be talking about a Bears win. 5 games in a row. It's possible. It's on the table. We'll see if Johns is right. Talk to you on
Johns will
Monday.
be crabby that day, regardless.
Get it, Crabs, Maryland.
Yeah. Early flight. Anyway, see ya. 3, 2,